Hey everybody, Liz Rabbit here again.
And Jack Rabbit.
And today I hope to finish What Remains of Edith Finch. In the last episode we found out what happened to both of Edith's uncles.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
So she had to get up there this way?
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
So instead of her parents letting her build a whole new room in this entire huge house, which doesn't seem to be a problem, she just moved.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Into the loft.
Yeah, overlooking her
Hey, we have that same composition of
dead brother's beds.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
I mean, a lot of people find solace in religion after losing family members. Where am I supposed to go? I can slide down the pole?
Well, I guess if you're going to have an odd way to get up there, I guess you have an odd way to get down.
Alright, so where am I supposed to go? This is the first time I've actually felt lost in this entire game. Because we know we can't go through the door. I go around here, just leads back to the rock wall. Alright. Do I have to backtrack? Back crawling through here. You know, it's amazing. Her mom sealed up all the doors and stuff, but didn't seal up all these secret passageways that her mom had to have known about. Alright, I'm back in Grandpa Sam's room.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be comfortable living in a house like this.
On the edge of a freaking cliff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable with that at all. I think I'd have nightmares every day I went to sleep.
Okay, seriously? I don't know where to go. Maybe everything else has been leading off of the room preceding it. Alright, back to the crawl space. You know, I'm surprised that for 7 years, like, nature hasn't tried to take back the house. The garden looked reasonably still manicured. There's nothing like raccoons or squirrels or anything else living
Yeah, by
in
now
this
there'd be
house.
something living in here. Go dance on the pole.
I don't know where to go. I can't go up the pole. Alright, maybe it was up in the loft.
Yeah.
Maybe I just missed something.
Yeah, try back up there.
Making this pregnant 17-year-old...
You hear the wind out there howling. Well, it was.
Did I miss something? Can I go through there? I don't see... Oh, that wasn't there before.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
I don't like heights.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
This is higher
I'm sure
than...
Edie was happy to have her back.
This is higher than the big tree. Alright, so everyone in the family had their own little garden.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Got a litter box or...
And for a while, things were good.
Oh, so
Almost
she...
normal. But
So
it
the-
didn't last.
So the 3 kids were homeschooled.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can tell this looks like a little school in here.
We did projects on our own great-great-grandfather.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Who built all this?
Yeah, really.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
I want a castle.
Not up here. Look how high it is. Oh. Open the thing. How do I... Oh my goodness. Open! What?
Open it! There you go.
What the heck? I've already been lost and I failed at opening a door. Alright. The only color it looks like y'all gave him was black, though. I mean, I wear a lot of black and...
Maybe that's the only color you wanted to paint in.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. His story's gonna be told through this little flip book, I guess. Flip book within a flip book. So he painted himself a doorway? And just left. Well,
I guess you're fixing to look for that same doorway.
no, it was down there. You saw it.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Wow, that was probably the shortest of any of the stories. Oh, I guess I go back down.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
See, he slept in this little rotunda? Seems a little claustrophobic in here.
Yeah, no
Whatever
wonder why
Milton
he
had
left.
found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Alright, so now where do I go? Oh. What?
There's a little barrier in your way. You can't jump over that.
I don't have a jump button, so I can't move that. I have to go all the way back around.
Video game logic.
This is way too high up to be structurally safe. Who built all this?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Let's get even higher up.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
They incorporated a boat into the freaking house.
I mean, why not?
Who brought all this up here? You see how high up we are, right? Someone had to bring all these building materials up here. And I doubt we had a contractor. So who built all this?
Lewis's room
Hey, look, a
smelled
hookah.
very, very familiar. That
Sure.
part of him lived on.
I'm sure it
Yeah, you
did.
see the leaf over there on the wall. Someone liked to expand their mind.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Okay.
Oh, no.
He kept working at the cannery,
Stop. There's too many fish. I'm in control of the arm, by the way.
but
Yeah, I
he
can tell.
withdrew part of himself.
Where's my other arm?
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind
What the-
began to wander.
Now I'm controlling this little guy, so I'm controlling the arm to cut the head off the fish and controlling this little guy at the same time.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
So much of a labyrinth. The words are telling me where to
He'd
go.
feel his way about.
Never mind. Dead end.
Then something moved. Bats.
This is really hard to
And
focus on the
toads.
fish with focusing on this. Oh, look, a dragon.
and things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Okay.
He took
Game's
it very
getting bigger.
seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
You don't understand how hard it is to keep doing this with one hand while...
But he found something more.
Oh no! Oh, don't
I
get
worried about him then.
3D now. Ah!
Daydreaming at the cannery,
Give me the fish.
I spoke with his boss.
Give me the fish. Thank you.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Cut the head off.
Like a whole new Lewis.
Is
So
the
I
game
let
getting
him go
bigger? Alright. Oh no!
Yeah, it is getting
I
bigger.
Oh, no.
encouraged him.
Ah!
He's completely
It seemed
fallen
very
into his own
promising.
daydream.
Yeah, he's just doing things.
Why does this
He told
remind me
me
of the
he'd made a new
second
friend.
chapter from
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate? Yeah.
Hey, he got a friend in the game. He got a doggo.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Really, dude?
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made
Okay.
musicians.
The game within the game's getting bigger over here. It's getting a little bit harder to concentrate. You have to...
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
Kind of bouncy music, though.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
I know the feeling. In our day-to-day job, like, I get lost in my own thoughts
no longer
because it
spoke
becomes so
of the
monotonous.
Oh yeah, standing up there on the grill cooking food. Yeah, a
And
lot
his
of times I'm not
chopping was
even
as
thinking about what
reliable
I'm
as
doing.
ever.
I'm off in some daydream somewhere.
Yeah, and usually, like,
And one
folks are
day
like,
it struck
wow,
me.
you're so focused. I'm like,
No,
I'm
not
actually
really.
a million miles
But
away.
we were
I'm in
sharing
my own little
crowds.
world.
Sometimes,
Even the
man, I'm
stones
so
under his
far off
feet.
in the daydream, I don't even remember what it was. I just cook and served.
Were all in his imagination.
Yeah, so this is a pretty accurate representation
So he
of,
could do whatever he wished.
this is a pretty accurate representation of someone that has a very monotonous job.
He held an election.
Start getting
for
lost in
men.
your daydream. Just
And
doing
he
stuff
won.
out of habit. Yeah, that's a little Mario
They
thing
begged
going
him to
on.
stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a
Oh.
game for him.
Oh. Now I'm in control of a tiny ship.
They'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Oh. Ship's actually a little hard to control.
New Louisville.
Don't hit the side.
St. Louis.
Really? St. Louis?
Everything, Lewis.
He started drifting away from our reality.
No, I'm drifting away into the sides. Oh, it's really hard to control for me.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Really?
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never done at work is forget to go home.
You almost made me wreck trying to get me to go home.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
This one.
handsome queen.
Handsome queen. Alright. Oh no.
Doesn't look like it's really gonna hurt you if you hit the sides though.
I know, but I don't
The
want to risk
queen was
it.
on her own quest for
Oh no, sinister serpents or radiant rainbows. You know me, I'm going for radiant
Okay, of
rainbows.
course you'd go for the
radiant
rainbows.
rainbows.
Should have went for the serpents.
No, I don't want to. I want to go for the rainbows.
Well, let's see. Now I wonder what would have happened if you'd have picked serpent.
But it sounds so mystical and it's pretty.
He followed the sound of her.
Oh no.
You just knock over the
smacked it.
rainbow. We don't need this one.
Electric sitar.
Electric sitar.
Not quite sure what that is.
Hey, isn't there like a road in Japan that if you drive down it, it has notes on it and it plays a tune?
I believe it is in Japan. It could be in China, though.
Yeah, I'm not really
Chase
sure.
led him to a golden palace east of the sun.
I don't know much
But you,
about it.
but you have to drive the perfect speed limit and everything
Even
so
then,
that...
his logic remained sound.
Oh, now there's nothing but the game and the fish.
He knew the world was all in his
Oh,
imagination.
jeez. Just throw all the fish at me. Also, it said these were salmon. These don't look much like salmon.
I really can't
Oh.
say either way.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
I'm having trouble controlling the hand in video game Lewis. Go. Oh. Alright. I just have to
For
judge,
someone who'd
like...
never known success in the real world. I think
After
it
a
was
while with the fish, it
overwhelming.
becomes kind of like muscle memory, where you have to throw them.
And then it struck him that the
fish.
real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Ah. Yeah, you
My
mean the guy that's
imagination
walking
is
like
as
he's
real as my
intoxicated.
body, he
Walk
told
into
me.
this... Get off my
More
plant.
fish.
It was hard to argue with him.
I'm the guest of honor. I'm going through this tiny door. Oh.
Now there are no more fish.
He began to forget the world we know.
This must be his locker.
There's some more of that long bottom leaf. That old Toby.
Oh, so this is where he works every day?
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Yeah, I'd have to fall into a fantasy world too. Look how drab this place is. Wait, am I Lewis? Approaching Lewis?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Do you have a face? You have a character model? Alright, he's not doing anything.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Lands of Wonder.
Well, this guy really was nuts.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Hey, they're all... Why does this remind me of something from, Spirited Away? At the end when she finds her parents.
Okay.
And all the people of the spa are dancing. Remember the turnip spirit up there?
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
You took advice from the cat. From Molly the cat. Man, that's not some Studio Ghibli stuff right there. Oh, I'm back in control. That's about how I
Queen
dance
waited,
too.
holding his crown.
I like this music though.
There was only one thing left to do.
This is not how we crown our monarchy.
This is a guillotine.
My queen has no face.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your
Did
son was
Lewis
a kind
cut his
man
own
who will be
head
missed
off with
by
the
all of us who knew
fish
him.
thing?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
He stuck his own head under the fish guillotine. Oh.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I love how blasé she was about that.
Yeah, like, this is just a normal family. You know, every family goes through things like this.
She was 4 when she lost one brother.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
So she was 4 when her brother Milton disappeared. And then she was 9 or
On the way
10.
back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Okay, so she was 10 when Lewis died.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
I guess she's so accustomed to losing people in her family that she's just kind of...
I wish we stayed.
Numb to it.
But I understand why we left.
I mean, I feel bad for the kid because she's obviously also going to raise her child by herself.
My
Because
mom ended up leaving everything behind.
she hasn't mentioned, like, a boyfriend or a husband. She has no ring on her finger, so she's planning on raising this child by herself. Huh. Is that your dad?
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner.
Oh, we're going up to my room now, I guess. This might be real close to the ending, then.
But it had to end one way or another.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Why is my bed so tall? Or did I get really, really short? So this pen has not dried out in 7 years?
Video game logic.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Her grandmother sounds very dignified. Oh.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
With
When
all
my
the...
mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
With all
Or
these
that
books
Edie
in
had a key
here,
to it.
I don't think candles are such a good idea.
Fire hazard.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Alright. Why is there a candle there?
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
I don't see how they're dead because of
We'll
the
have
stories,
nursing home
though.
send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
It just seems like this family just has really bad luck. Maybe some other problems.
There's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful.
I'm sure. I've smelled...
Yeah,
I've
low
seen
tide
that
stinks.
house every day of
Anybody that lives around low tide knows that low tide stinks. Or lives around the
never
water, I mean.
thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Freaking Silent Hill fog. Look at this. Alright. Maybe if I hunt for the words.
I got turned around.
Up. What the? I was walking straight. Alright. Squish, squish, squish feet.
I started seeing things.
Oh, look, a deer. No reason a deer would be down here, though. Where am I going?
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Alright, where are those words? The words lead me. Ah, there they are. Seriously, though, developer, white font?
But when I
bed.
saw them, they felt like old friends.
The bed. You mean that bed?
That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
This gate still works?
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
And her mom's kind of a jerk for that.
Next
Just
morning,
coming.
the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Shouldn't have been drinking with that medication.
After that, we moved around a
I
lot.
mean, she was like 92.
Yeah, and she did say she didn't want to leave.
Oh, I'm in control of this arm. You ever do that outside car window?
I think everybody does that. It's
We
fun.
both tried to make the best of it.
Hey. I really do like the word effects in this game. I mean, look at that. That's neat.
And it's a good visual clue to keep you on track so that
few
you don't
years
get lost
went
or
by.
turned around.
Except for the one time I got lost. Alright. Oh, how do I get them off? How do I get the words off the thing? Shake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shake it.
I am. Well, come on.
My
Oh.
mom doesn't like to talk about it.
Alright. See, I mean, look at that effect.
She started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
I'm gonna assume her mom died of cancer.
The last Finch.
Yeah, that was
left
what crossed my
alive.
mind as well.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things.
I don't think you'd ever
But as it
understand
is,
that.
I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Am I being born? Is this family friendly? Am I being born?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
I'm
And I
doing
hope you'll never see it.
something. Am I
I
being
just want to
born?
meet you and tell you all these stories myself.
This kind of
I
reminds me
guess
of
if you're
the
reading this now,
Dill being born scene from freaking
things didn't
Rugrats.
work out that way.
Pretty sure I was just born.
Yeah.
This is
yeah, I'm
where
pretty
your
sure you
story
were just born.
begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
So Edith died. So who brought the sun here?
Well, that was a sad ending.
So the story just
That house makes me nervous.
So this story just ends like that.
Well, that was a very different and interesting game. It was a sad ending, though. I thought it was going to be a little different than that at the end.
And no questions ever really got answered or addressed in it. We still have no idea if there really was a family curse or what actually was going on. However, if anyone does have an opinion of it, please feel free to leave it down in comments what you think is going on in this game. This game is available on the Microsoft Store on Xbox and probably available on PlayStation as well. As you saw, it's a fairly simple game, but it is beautiful and the story is rather unique. So I hope everyone did enjoy this playthrough of What Remains of Edith Finch. Leave a like, and if you're new here, please subscribe. Thank you, and everyone have a good day.
Goodbye.